Hello. Hey. All right. There we go. We're starting. Hey, welcome to Sober Boys, episode 17. I don't know. Special guest in the building tonight. It is Cleveland. You can say your last name if you want or not. You don't have to.
W.
Cleve W.
Cleve Willis. I don't care. I'm good.
I call him Cleve, short for meat cleaver. Anyone ever say that about you?
Leave it to Cleaver?
Pull that closer to you. Pull that mic closer to you.
Yeah, they used to say all the time.
You might need to scooch up a little bit so it's closer to you. Because it'll sound like you're far away.
Yeah, elementary school, buddy. It was leave it to Cleaver.
Mm-hmm.
It was cleavage.
That's. Did you like that one or hate that one?
No, I hated them all. I was
all of them?
picked on. We can cuss on here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Dude,
it's my podcast. I don't have a boss. Cleveland, we don't have bosses.
hey, look, I don't know. I've been on some podcasts where you have to, certain things are different.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but look at, I was picked on in elementary school a lot, man. You know, it's funny that alcoholic stuff, those things that come up way later, you're like, man. But I do remember, I don't know why you just triggered that on me. That's so funny. But I remember specifically, we were just talking about, I went to the eye doctor today to get my prescription done.
You have beautiful eyes.
Oh,
Did I ever tell you have beautiful blue eyes?
They're blue. Thank you. Thank you. Are they as blue as they're like ice sky or something?
Yeah.
I mean, thanks, Taylor.
Now you're just flirting with yourself.
Well, a little bit, yeah. But I went to the eye doctor today and I got, just check up, and then I got I was getting my old glasses just kind of straightened out, and then I went ahead and bought a new pair.
Yeah.
It's funny, I even told the eye doctor, I was like, when I was little, wearing glasses was not cool.
No.
And she said all the kids now actually want them.
Yeah, they're cool.
And really a lot of people wear them now. It's no big deal, of course. But when I was a kid, it wasn't cool, and I got picked on, going back to that first thing. The name calling and the 4-eye thing didn't help me, my self-esteem, let alone anything else that was going on with me that just made it another one up. And I came home crying one day, I think I was second, third grade, to my stepmom. It was amazing. And she was just like, all right, one thing we can solve is this glasses thing. So she took me way early age and got me, she had to sign some special work to get me contacts. So that changed part of my life.
Do you think contact technology has changed since when they came out?
Yeah, I was young, but I'm probably too young to have them, honestly. But oh yeah, 100%.
Because can you feel them in your eyes? Are you wearing them right now?
Yeah. Because I got terrible, horrible vision.
Man.
Obviously, with glasses or contacts, people get them because you didn't have almost perfect vision or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I thought about LASIK. I don't mind my glasses. Again, now I like them.
Yeah, so. They look good now. I think glasses are. I have blue light glasses. I wear they're somewhere around.
Oh yeah,
here.
for the screen.
For screens at nighttime, and honestly, I don't think they do anything at all. But because I wear them, and I don't know if they do.
I think they do, man, a little bit. Yeah. I have readers that are also blue light as well. And again, I have readers.
It still can't be good to be looking at screens late at night.
No, I mean there's nothing. There's no way.
No.
It can't be good for your eyes.
So do you think your bad eyesight, that's what made you an alcoholic? That's what started it all.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess I'll do some...
I'm a victim of bad eyesight and being picked on.
Nothing else. Cleveland, I'll do some background. Cleveland, I met Cleveland like a few years ago probably. That's where, and he's been sober longer than I've been alive, which is...
Well, that's nice.
Crazy.
This makes me feel old, thanks.
No, you're not, but you know what? You wear it well.
Thank you.
And I've been thinking about this recently because the first time I saw you was at the clubhouse, the original clubhouse we met at in Atlanta, and you had a mustache at the time, and I was like, look at this douchebag with the mustache.
Yeah, look at
and
that
now
fucker.
Look who has a mustache.
You're the douchebag.
I'm the douchebag now.
And I shaved everything. I had the big beard for a long time, and then.
But that was before COVID, and then we kind of really connected with each other during COVID.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. We'd talk and hang out after the thing in the parking lot or whatnot.
And there was one meeting where I cried like a baby. And
you were all crying on the ground, kneeling down in the fetal position.
It was rough. Another sober girl really hurt
Really did you a number on you.
Yeah.
But luckily I was there to just save the day.
You saved me.
Not really.
But you didn't cure
you helped
me.
me that day because the truth is, being there for somebody, being able to talk to somebody after a meeting or in general, it is, as we all know who are involved in this, we know it helps us. But I'm so self-centered. It takes a minute for me to grasp that. Still, it doesn't matter. I'm like, I don't know. Am I going to talk to Taylor?
Yeah.
He's really having a time. And do I really want to deal with this tonight?
Yeah.
I think it was a late meeting too. It was like a 9:30 meeting.
No, it was in the morning.
It was the morning 9:30 meeting?
9:30
Because we were going to that night meeting also sometimes.
I only went to that. You went more than me, but I'd been to it.
Oh, yeah. Jake was, some of our friends were going to that. But yeah, we would go to that earlier morning meeting, which now I certainly don't do that because there's other choices and I prefer to sleep in a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, it was wonderful at the time. It really, dude, it was literally a lifesaver for me, that particular place, because they had in-person meetings when a lot of places weren't at the time.
Or Zoom meetings.
Yeah, dude.
And I couldn't. I would go to Zoom meetings and then go and get fucked up.
Dude.
I couldn't do them.
Sound like what I used to do with in-person meetings a long time ago, because I was in and out for several years.
But you've been sober since you were like 21, 22?
22,
wow.
and I got introduced to the program at 16. I started using and drinking at 14, 15. Like a lot of us, we start doing
I was like
stuff.
15 and a half.
Yeah, 15 and a half. You remember the half?
I do, yes, because,
Why?
I don't know. Was I 15 and a half? I was, because it was after wrestling season my freshman year of high school, and my birthday is November 24th. Sometimes it's on Thanksgiving, which is the best birthday ever.
I bet.
I love Thanksgiving food so much. What's your favorite holiday food?
Oh, man. I do like the stuffing, and I like the... I'm a health nut.
Yeah.
But I will, on the holidays, I will slightly cheat a little bit for me cheating. But I will do the stuffing, which kind of for me is cheating. Yeah. That's heavy to me.
Yeah.
And I'll do the turkey, man. I'll do the turkey.
Does it make you sleepy?
Yes, but I take a nap every day anyway. So I'm going to take a nap then.
Yeah, you recently told me naps need to be like... on my solo podcast I talk about naps. Because I've been taking... Because I will... Like, if I eat a bunch of... I think it's gluten. I think I have some kind of gluten intolerance, because I'll take a nap and I'll wake up like, and like I'm panicked. And then like I've been taking naps lately. I wake up like, I'm fine. Everything's good.
See, stop. I mean, I'm a huge believer in, I'm a health guy, from the yoga studio to what I put in my body most of the time. Yeah. And, I will say that my dad, before it was cool to be gluten-free, he had a bunch of allergies I would say late 90s, early mid 2000s, really. It wasn't as, well, at least it wasn't on social media, and it certainly wasn't as prevalent, but he was down for that. My dad's a super healthy guy, still, thankfully. But like, he was down for the count, dude. And like, actually so much so that my parents didn't tell me or my brother what was going on. And he went and got all these MRIs, all this stuff. They even thought, who knows, it was a big deal for like 3 months. And finally they went to, and there was nothing wrong with the scans and all that. Everything seemed okay. So he went to an allergist, or, something like that. And basically told him, they tested everything, the blood. Turned out he was allergic or had reactions to several different things. Gluten was one. Yeah. And yeast and, certain, and I remember a list being on the refrigerator of things he couldn't eat from that point. Yeah. But within less than a week, after 3 months of being down for the count, changing his food, back to normal. Active as hell. So that was, and again, that was way back before I certainly was that much aware of as much, and just really before it was the trendier thing to do, I think. So I kind of joke about that with my dad. You were way ahead of the curve in the cool crowd. But
I just noticed like less like brain fog or whatever.
Well, 100%. And an ex of mine, she stopped, and it was like a skin thing. Yeah. And
it's weird that can make you.
Yeah, it's weird. But it's not really, because what we do is we, get in there and screw up a bunch of stuff. Yeah. It's about, it's really not about health.
All the stuff we put in food is nuts. Right. What are we talking about? We're talking about sober something. We got off on food.
Sober.
I forget what it was. Oh, first time started getting fucked up. That's what it was. Because I was 15 and a half when the first time I got fucked up. We got on that
tangent. Because 15 and a half. I was. So the first time I was introduced to the program, I was 16. A buddy of mine had already gone through treatment, and when I got sober, talking about trendy, treatment centers in the late 80s, early 90s were like I mean, the insurance thing was all a big thing, and it was like tons of money involved in it. But it was such a trendy thing. Like if it was on Instagram, everybody would have been in treatment that year. I don't know, whatever it was. It was just like a wildly trendy thing. And maybe most of those people needed it, maybe not. What the fuck do I know? But it was definitely more prevalent then. And he had gone to treatment, and he gotten sober. He actually stayed sober for many, 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 many years. But I remember he was really into the program, you know. And I'm like, this is stupid. Fuck off, you know. And you heard my story once. He tricked me into going to a meeting, told me we were going to a party. And I fell for it not only once, but I fell for it twice, possibly a third time. But in fairness, he did take me to said party after the meeting, which is where I then continued to get fucked up and drank all the vodka I could and did some other cocaine and stuff. I was more of a smoker of some different drugs, and definitely I love vodka. I mean, I drink beer. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved some beer, but I loved vodka.
Mixing or just drink it straight?
I drank vodka straight. My parents had a bar at the house, and before high school in the morning, I would take a shot of vodka at, 15, 16 years old. And so that didn't take, but I got the seed planted, at that age. And then I was like, well, maybe it's a cool thing to do. So sometimes trendy things might be all right. And I think I stayed sober for a few weeks. Maybe, I can't remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, and then I remember going in and out. My parents were then giving me ultimatums with military school.
Oh my.
or treatment. Yeah. Or whatever, or straighten it out, whatever. And the amount of family meetings we would have, it was insane. Yeah. And not to call my dad out, but my dad, who's amazing, he's been a non-drinker for as long as I have, right around the same time, really. And he, I can't say he's an alcoholic, but he had a problem drinking for a while. Yeah. He had a white collar guy, stressful, come home and drink, and he just went through this, whether it was a phase, whether it was part of the gene, because our grandfather had, a lot of people had it in the family. Either way, whatever he did worked, and he doesn't drink and hadn't drank in years. He's a workaholic. Yeah. And he's great and healthy and fit, but we stopped around the same time. But back then, I would come home fucked up, and he'd be fucked up too. Yeah. And so it was really just it was a very, a lot of my friends thought we had a really great sort of Leave It to Beaver type family. Leave it to really Cleaver. Far from the truth. I am incredibly lucky, but there's a whole background with birth mom stuff. There's a whole background with, behind closed doors in any relationships, you don't know what goes on. In our house, once that kind of settled, then it was great. And growing up was great when I was younger. He wasn't drinking much, and I had the gene. I felt that feeling, that stuff that we seem to feel, and I've talked about it before in meetings. I think a lot of us relate to that. Yeah. I felt that alone and all that stuff way before a drink ever even was a thought. You
just made me think about, like, I just had so many, like, I didn't know how to do, especially around girls. Like, I was like, I don't know how to approach girls. Like, I mean, everyone's weird in middle school, but like being, that was so frightening. Like a dance, all the girls and boys are separated. But I remember being wrestling practice once, and because I grew up, I wrestled from like first grade to senior of high school. Sports was all my growing up. And my friend had kissed a girl at a movie, and I was like, how the fuck did you do that? And then like I asked him, I was like, hey, did you were you like, kiss me? And he thought that was so funny because he was in a movie, he was like, kiss me, and
that's good.
He thought it was very funny. I was like, I just don't know how you go about kissing a girl.
Well,
and now I kiss girls all the time. It's no big deal. But
listen, I love that about you. I see it all the time. I see you out just kissing girls. Yeah. So wait, when was your first kiss?
Well,
you brought this up.
We did Spin the Bottle when I was in like third grade, but that doesn't really count.
No, why not?
I don't know, because it was with a family friend, and they felt like cousins, so it felt a little bit. Yeah, so I guess that was my first kiss, was like third grade.
When was your first, like, what you're talking about now, when was your first real kiss?
Yeah, I was 7th grade. It was this girl, Valerie Thompson. I remember her name. And I don't know where she is now. I'm sure she's doing
Look
great.
her up.
I'm sure she's heartbroken because it never worked out.
I mean, probably. She's probably still thinking about you, resenting.
But we were, like, because it was after I got like my first phone. So we were like texting, but I had like a flip phone. I got my first phone in like 7th grade. No, it was a Motorola, but I was amazed with Razors. I don't know why. They were so cool to me, and now they're stupid flip phones.
It's not a beer for those just listening.
No, it's a delicious Kroger seltzer water. You ever had the pure seltzer waters? No flavor.
Let's get back to this girl who's resenting you right now.
So we're at the park. The plan was to meet at the park and kiss, and we were texting about it. And it took me an hour or more to just kiss her, and it was just like I had so much nervousness and anxiety around just kissing a girl. It's just like I don't know why, but and that was the first girl I kissed. Like first girl that there was a lot of build up to it. That's
a build up, a lot of planning, a lot of texting.
Yeah. What about you?
Cell phones were not a thing. Okay, so 2 stand out. One was my, like you were saying, the sort of spin the bottom, but it wasn't that. It was this girl in my in the neighborhood when I was really young. I mean, I was like, and it's so funny. I can actually even picture myself and her being children.
Yeah.
And so I hope this comes out right. But I, in fairness, was 4 or 5.
It is weird how you can picture those memories so clearly.
It's great.
Yeah.
The good ones.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones. And I remember we were around back of the house.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was just next door or something. But and we did a little quick peck.
And
that was it. I think that same girl.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? No. So I started early with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Soon thereafter, around that same time period, I kissed another girl under the slide in the playground.
What age did you say?
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Right in there. I can't tell you exactly, but that first story was the first one. And then I remember the girl on the slide. And I guess that was exciting because we were hiding under the slides. That was kind of my problem. You just broke a case, buddy. You just made me trigger something that made me feel like that sneaky. I'm doing something. Not is it wrong, but it's risky.
Yeah, that
was the excitement.
Yeah,
that thrill.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then my real 6th grade. Over here, I grew up, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And over by Hawthorne Elementary, Shallowford Road, that area.
Is that over by Lakeside High School?
Yes.
I lived
Tucker,
over. Yeah. I lived over by there because my uncle lives over. My cousin went to Lakeside High School.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so you got some family here.
I do. That's one of the reasons I moved here.
That's great. It's one of my favorite areas.
Oh, it's great. It's
a wonderful area.
It feels very safe and quiet.
It's just clean.
Yeah, clean.
Nice.
It feels clean.
It feels good. It's a lot of old school over there.
Yeah.
So Lynn Clark. That's right. 6th grade. I'll never forget her. Nor should I.
Mm-hmm.
And I did try to look her up a few years ago, a couple times. No luck. And it seems like I even talked to a friend of mine that we went to school together. I'm like, whatever happened to her? Because she's in the yearbook and whatnot. And that was my first real girlfriend. And man, that was really cool. We, hey, I went over to the house and checked trampoline. I mean, we kissed. For whatever version of making out at that age, we did. Oh man, it was great. And there was another girl at that same time at Hawthorne Elementary, Tanya. What was her last name? Anyway, I kissed her. You pass the notes. And it says, do you want to go out with me?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah. Check
yes. Check maybe. Check no. And listen. The rejection, man.
You'd know. I had texting. From a young age.
We had to handwrite.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
the thing is texting really kind of makes a lot of that shit easier because you can text someone something that I don't know if I'd say this to you in person.
I mean, you guys should do the same thing with writing.
Yeah.
Writing a letter.
True. But you gotta wait.
And at least it's in your handwriting, man.
Yeah.
It's more personal.
That's true.
When you're telling somebody to fuck off in handwriting.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I take responsibility for writing this and sending it to you.
Oh my God. You just reminded me of, I was in art class. I drew this really good drawing and I showed it to this friend, Jack. I thought it was great. My first job I wanted to have was a cartoonist. I wanted to be a cartoonist. I love drawing. It was like my first passion, drawing.
I could see it.
Because I also had a lot of teachers that encouraged it. And then I fell off because I don't know. It kind of it's got that artistic thing has gone into comedy and all that.
Yeah.
But I drew it and I showed my friend Jack and he like smacked it out of my hands, and he accidentally stepped on it and ripped it in half. Oh, and that devastated me. And I was like, did he mean to rip that in half? And it wasn't like a really hard drawing, but I really liked it for some reason.
It doesn't matter. That was your stuff,
I know,
man.
And it hurt my feelings, and I never brought it up.
It should have hurt your feelings.
I never brought.
I mean, that crushed your
I literally
ego.
just remember. I need to put him on a resentment list.
To the
now.
nitty-gritty.
I need to put him on a resentment list. He's never been on there.
You need to put him on there because I feel like I'm starting to get resentment towards this guy right now. Fuck that guy. What's he doing now?
He's a sick man. I pray for his or whatever. He is. I don't know.
Who cares? Fuck him.
Well, it's weird. I hope he like is homeless. He was. He was always a kid that was in musicals and acting, but he didn't want to do it. And he was good. But he wanted to go into politics, or he has a regular job now. But it's weird how those, like, it seems like people that pursue a career in the arts and that is their, like, career, like, whatever, stand-up comedy, acting, whatever, they don't, at least for me, like, it's not their thing in high school. And there's, like, I could be, but for me, I wasn't, like, doing all the plays in high school because I was doing sports. It wasn't until after high school into college, and after college I was like, I think I want to try to make this my career path in some way.
I think it goes both ways, but I think you're like, I was too, I was getting, I mean, were you already doing drugs and stuff in high school? Drinking a lot?
Drinking.
During wrestling?
Yeah. Okay. But not, I couldn't do it a lot. I couldn't go off the deep end.
You were still functioning pretty well, and you weren't sneaking away or able to sneak away and do it so much.
I would get in trouble. I would drunk drive a lot in high school and drive a Nissan Armada. Drunk drive a 2004 Nissan Armada. That thing's a tank. I remember being on the highway. We went to like some kid, this was like junior year. I had pulled my hamstring in wrestling. It's like, I can party. And we went to a hotel. For some reason, someone rented a hotel. I got hammered there. And I remember driving home on 315, which is the outer belt in Columbus, Ohio. I just was going like 100 in this SUV. Not for long, but I was like, I'm just going to floor it. And my friend was in the car, and it was, but it was like started at 15 and a half and then until whatever. But I didn't get into like hard drugs until, I guess I did Xanax and some painkillers and cocaine in high school a little bit, but I didn't really get hard into cocaine and crack until after college. I mean, I did a lot of cocaine in college.
That triggered me. My friend Andy and his dad had a Porsche.
Oh my God. Which one? 911?
Yeah, the
Boxster?
Cool round ones. Pop-up lights. It was
pop-up lights? Oh, like a 944 or something?
No, it was a higher grade than that one.
9, I don't know, 92 something. It's one of those, but like the 80s ones with the engine in the front.
Yeah, it was a late 80s one.
Because they did away with that.
No,
those are the ones people now.
It was engine in the front, but it was fast. So what we did is we had a key made to it.
Yeah. Oh, you could just go. Where did you go to copy keys? Did you go to Home Depot?
It's a place on Ponce. It's still there right now.
Yeah.
All those years ago. I don't know where I can't remember. Or maybe Andy was his name, and maybe he found the spare. I can't remember, but I thought we went and had keys made to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we would do is we would take that. We'd sneak it out like 2 a.m.
How old?
16, 17.
Yeah.
We'd crank it, not crank it, but do enough where you could put it in neutral, back it out of the driveway, go down to the cul-de-sac, turn it on, then go.
Was it stick or automatic?
It was automatic. And had to have been. Man, well, you know what? I don't remember. He never let me drive it, unfortunately. But maybe fortunately. But we'd both get hammered.
Yeah.
And then we'd see how fast from the Lakeside, Tucker area, and this would happen to be in the Smoke Rise area, how fast we could get downtown.
Yeah.
In the car on 85 or 285. And, and that was that total alcoholic addict when life and death is kind of on the same pendulum. And I remember thinking I'd hold on over here and we would be doing 130, 140 miles an hour.
Jesus Christ.
This is listen, this is right around the Olympics. No, before that. Yeah. So
is that where the
traffic was we're still big city, but it wasn't like it is now.
No.
Especially at 11 midnight anyway. So yeah, we would do that, and I always would think, God, I kind of hope we crash.
Yeah,
because that was already there.
Yeah,
I didn't care.
Yeah,
I already had enough pain, and I was just feeling that internal pain. And excuse me, I burped for those who
He's crying.
And I said, excuse me.
Cleve is weeping.
I was just crying a little bit.
You can see on his.
So ironically, that guy did have a bigger problem with crack and some meth and everything, and he did pass away. I think it went all longer. I think a few years ago. We kept in touch off and on.
Yeah.
But his brother, his older brother, who I thought was the coolest guy ever, and at the time he's a really cool music crowd, and that's how I kind of got into the music world. Was his brother, and then we started going to clubs around Atlanta, old clubs, and I'm involved in this music documentary right now, which I'm excited about. We're just talking about the history of Atlanta and before me, my generation, the pre-generation before me, and after. But and just we'd go to these clubs in Atlanta, Cotton Club, Rec Room, all these places that were existing back then, and Smiths, which they owned other clubs previous to that in the 90s, which I would hang out of.
Yeah, and you're going to be at Smiths on the 13th?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be doing my fun project August 13th, Sunday, 8 p.m. The band is called Ghost of You. These guys I play with are all just seasonal professionals that are have been hired guns over the years in big bands. And when I had my 15 minutes several years ago, I it's been a while. I only play live every now and then now. It seems like I still get to record music, and I'm lucky enough to. I'm proud, dude. I've had some music placed in TV shows, and we sold a song last year. And
Mailbox Money.
Mailbox Money.
And you were in Los Angeles for
a little while.
Yeah.
And
when did you go out there?
So timelines for me are always messed up, and COVID made it worse.
Yeah.
So I was drinking when I was this age at this year, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. What year was that? Anyway, so my times have always been, it seems like, a little off by a few months or a year or so. You ever get like that? You're like, and COVID really messed me up. Was that 2 years or 3? And then I met you 8 years ago, but not really. It was 4 years, things like that. So COVID really messed my whole timeline up with things. But anyway, to answer your question, more importantly, when the band I was in finally ended, record companies and lawyers, managers, producers, all this stuff. We were lucky to do a lot of this stuff, but at the end of the day, we had stopped touring so much, and we had incredible amount of turmoil. In fact, during this documentary, we interviewed my old drummer, who's in a really big name drop band now, and so that's part of why we, again, the history of Atlanta and people here, and we laughed. He goes, well, we talked about he and I's old band, and he's like, that really needs to be its own documentary. Yeah. Which I laughed because we spent, it does. It would be an interesting story to those who give a shit. Whether it was about any of the members or just the history of what we did, but proud of everything we did. But we also the stories of the bands not getting along is very true. Yeah. A lot of my friends today are professionally touring, but they don't love each other, and opposite situations too. They absolutely love each other. Yeah. Because you're a family and you're trapped in tubes and buses and planes, but so when that kind of, I knew that was, we'd been flying. I flew back and forth a ton because I had a lot of friends out there. I was recording some out there, and I went out there for a few weeks one time, and I'm like, why not? I'm just gonna move out here for a while, and I had a house here, so I rented it out. I went out there for a while, stayed with my friend. She had an extra room. Still friends with her today, and actually she's coming in town for the show. Oh, cool. She's flying in for that. And it was a good experience. I got to do some recording, and again, placements, had some songs on VH1 stuff and whatever. Whoa. But I got to record with some really cool people. My buddy Anthony was in that band Crazy Town. Their hit was Butterfly, all that stuff. So we did a record, and we did this. We were recording it. Does anybody give a shit about this? I was recording in this. We were in the Hollywood Hills. This is the Hollywood bullshit. But I was in the Hollywood Hills, and I said to him, we were recording in the studio, and I said, man, your house looks familiar, because he had a whole studio in the section of the house, and he lived in, of course nowadays everybody does that. But anyway, I was like, man, why does this house look familiar? Yeah. He goes, and it's a beautiful view. I mean, looking at the Hollywood Hills, and I'm on the patio taking a break, and he goes, oh, yeah, this was on one of those shows, because it was Savannah's house. I'm like, the porn star? Yeah. He goes, yeah. She dated Slash back in the day and whatever. And I said, well, wait a minute. She committed suicide. He goes, yeah, right over there in the vocal booth. Wow. Where you're singing is where she took her own life. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Anyway, it was kind of was kind of weird, but it was, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, nowadays, I had a good experience out there, and I was lucky to kind of have already some established relationships and friendships, both personal and in the business. But I will say this: I went to this great meeting out there, Red Rock, and it was above a bar every day at noon. My buddy Jason, who was in a lot of bands and toured all the time, I'd met him and his wife. They weren't married yet at the time, and she's an actress, and we were buds from common friends in the music world. And then he and I really got to know each other. And I got to tell you, Jason, and Jason C. I can't say his last name, but he's pretty open about it. But regardless, he saved my ass.
Yeah.
And this meeting was mostly just it was a small meeting. Yeah. But it was most of the people in there were musicians or actors or people in the entertainment world, which was really cool because you get that here and now here more than ever. But at the time, not as much. Of course, I have friends who are, no matter what we do, we're all the same. But that was always my separation and bullshit excuse for not being as involved with people in the meetings, because you don't understand but these guys did. Yeah. They were around the drugs and alcohol like I was every day when you're out there playing and touring and all this stuff. Comics, same thing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're out there on the road in any form or fashion, in any level of entertainment or art, chances are
artists like getting fucked up.
Yeah,
they love it.
And so I spent a couple years out there living and enjoyed it. And I want to say that was around 2013, 14, maybe a little sooner than that, somewhere in there. It was a good time, man. I had a great time with a lot of friends. And again, solid AA. At the time, it was really solid. Yeah. And man, I needed it. Yeah. And it was just, Jason, and I give him credit, man. He really, I was already sober, obviously, but man, I was doing some cool stuff, but I was lost, Yeah. And he took me to a place where, as a friend, he took me under his wing. Yeah. And so I started to feel, once again, I felt like I would fit in with him and a couple of his buddies. And then I felt like, then I started getting in with that meeting, and I felt like, okay, I can go to this anonymous meeting, and it's a great meeting. It's a solid meeting, a lot of solid sobriety. And man, it was. They were not joking around about that. I mean, it was, and like, that's what I love about some of the meetings we go to too. I mean, yeah, you have your fun, and we should. Right. But it was just serious AA. And I love that. And I think we have a lot of that here too. Yeah. And I'm glad, I'm thankful. But that jumpstarted me again back into meetings. Yeah. Which, when I did move home, it continued to jumpstart me back into meetings. And I've been not totally consistent. I took some more time in there to kind of and then get lost and get found.
Were you ever like, because you I guess you've been sober for a minute when you moved back? Mm-hmm. Were you like, I don't really need to go back to meetings when I get back here? Or?
I mean, I've been through that phase a few times. Yeah. The reality is I get jolted back into reality. Yeah. And which is that it doesn't matter. In fact, and I said this recently in meetings, guys like you and some of our mutual friends that, whether they're my age or your age, but they seem to have they have a lot in that particular case. A handful of these guys have a lot less sobriety than me. But to me, y'all inspire me more because y'all are so involved with not only each other, but in the program, and it just inspires me and keeps me connected. Mm-hmm. Because I think, for me...
you were sharing the other night at a meeting, you're like, hey, old timers, fuck you. I don't get anything from you guys. You guys... crotchety. Well, young guys, hey, you pointed at me, said, Taylor, keep relapsing, because you inspire me to not go back out.
I mean, I got your back if you do, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I hope you don't, but at the same time, you have been an inspiration, and you keep coming back and you keep doing it, and it's, we're human, and sometimes
you got say your catchphrase. You say it so much.
We're human,
and we're
fallible.
Yeah, you say that so much,
motherfucker. That's the thing, because I find that I don't like it when anyone, doesn't mean in the program or not, but they use whatever issues they have going on as I take the words like trauma or being a victim to things. I take that very seriously, and I think that those words seemed like, and I'm trying to be mindful of this too, because those are serious terms. I think that we all have a little bit of, I know my own sort semi traumas growing up with birth mom stuff and whatever. being around drugs and alcohol when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and unnecessarily, and watching my mom shoot up. But I mean, I feel like not my stepmom, my mom, to be clear, but I feel like there are people who have. I can't imagine what it would be like to go serve in Iraq.
No,
Okay, so that trauma.
Yeah.
People
Different
who are
kind
victims of sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah.
So for me,
Rwandan genocide. Trauma.
I mean, there's so many things that are and granted, our own issues are our own, and our own experiences can only be our own experiences in a room that we only can experience. Right? So you can't come into my room and experience what I'm experiencing necessarily. You may have some similarities, but you're not going to experience exactly what I'm feeling. So, and I certainly don't take any experience lightly that might be a big deal for someone, because I definitely have my big deals. But I like to be mindful of other cats have much bigger deals than me. And when I say something, when somebody comes back from, PTSD from war or something, dude, it's a different level that I'm thankful I don't have. Yeah. And I hope that person can find his way or her way. Yeah. Anyway, all that to say that, it is what it is. And I do learn a lot from you guys that are younger in sobriety. Yeah. Whether you're my physical age or not, doesn't matter, because we're all the same age in sobriety of not drinking one day at a time. And our experiences are similar but different. And it's important that, and again, it's the last house on the block. Not everybody there is, and we hear this all the time, and I think it's true, the bed of health, right? Yeah. So, but we do our best.
So, one guy always says, I didn't come here on a winning streak. Which
our buddy. Great. That's right. He says that a lot, and it's true. He said it the other night, and he's got this funny way of saying it. No one here came here because they were winning. And true. Yeah. I think, so
I had awesome. Sometimes I'll say it on stage. I haven't said it in a while, but I'll say, like, I didn't have a traumatic childhood, so I created my own trauma. Like smoking crack and stuff, which is, for me, that I've gone through some crazy shit just smoking crack with homeless people. It's nuts.
And see, I'm envious because, and this is where my sick brain goes in. Yeah, I never shot dope. Yeah, I wanted to shoot dope. Yeah, but I smoked it. Smoked heroin.
Yeah, I'm sure it felt great.
Yeah, it did. But and I love the vodka, and I love all the. Man. See, my face was almost like orgasmic. It was natural. But my regret is I didn't, and that's sick, but honest. But also, it's like, wait a minute. I did a hit of meth once. Yeah. And I kept doing other stuff, so I didn't really fuck with that. But I kind of wished but it's good that I didn't. Yeah. You know what I mean, though? It's
the heroin thing seems to just grab people. In a different way, but also it's weird.
Especially when you shoot it. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, I had friends. We would lace our. In fact, first of all, I hate the smell of pot. Me and my buddy, who's not in the program at all, we ride motorcycles together when he's not on the road, and we go up through the mountains or whatever, up near Roswell and up the mountains, and just talking to him, man. It's like, dude, don't you hate it when you're in your car, let alone the motorcycle, and someone in front of you got that? It's just literally the pot blowing in your face. And you're like, first of all, I didn't really like it when I did it. Yeah. The smell. And I didn't really like pot at all. Yeah. However, I smoked it at night to help me sleep. Yeah. But I would only smoke it during the day if I could lace it with cocaine, heroin, or opium. Yeah.
Opium, Jesus.
Yeah, we'd lace it. That was high school.
Yeah.
So high school.
How did you get opium? Just whoever.
we had a guy.
That's crazy.
We had a guy in the
I don't think opium's around anymore. No, anything now is just fentanyl, which is
so that's so scary.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend now was like, why would anybody even want to do drugs at all? You're gonna she's like, I don't understand. I mean, and she's not one of us, but she's just like, I don't get it, because she could do things casually, and back in the day, she has her own story, but she would do some things casually, but it was never. Right. She wouldn't do it again for months. Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
No,
She's like, I wouldn't even do it now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because, number one, I'm too smart to try to fuck around with fentanyl. Number two, I got better things to do than drugs.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. But like,
oh well, you don't sound like an alcoholic.
Well, you just don't sound like an addict. That's bullshit.
An addict and an alcoholic.
Yeah, she doesn't put up with my, as she says, she don't put up with his horse shit.
Do you get that thing when you were drinking and stuff? Like for me, whenever I relapse or whenever I drink, it's just immediately like now I want cocaine so bad. Like does alcohol for you trigger wanting drugs?
It triggered.
I mean, everything for me triggers everything, but it's like
so
drinking immediately. I'm like, now I have the courage to go find drugs.
Well, liquid courage. You mentioned earlier about girls.
Yeah.
So when in high school,
girls are gross. Let's get it straight.
I mean,
girls have cooties.
I mean, they were in listen, I had to stay away.
Yeah.
Cooties.
They'll get you sick.
Didn't we have cooties too, I think?
Yeah. They'll get you sick. You'll break out.
Yeah.
You'll come down with a fever.
I mean, not right now. I don't think I have the
cooties. You ever get a girl fever?
Maybe I do. But I mean, so for me, it was a liquid courage forever. And that means when I started going to those music clubs and getting inspired and also scared because I knew that I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And I was watching people that I knew who became my friends on stage become great and big, and then they get the record deals and all that stuff at the time. But like, I was like, I want to do this. But, I had to drink to get the courage to even talk to a girl.
Yeah.
Let alone, we're going to put together a band and we're going to get creative and we're going to write music and we're going to go then play live in these clubs, and we're 16, 17 years old. Wow. And our peers were, 18, 19, but they were light years ahead.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how a year, 2-3 years can make a giant difference in creative world, any world really.
I mean, I'm 27 now, and I don't know. I feel like I just definitely feel like a much different. 20s are like, I feel like each year is just a whole different level of just like maturing. I don't know. Brain developing. I don't know. But I just am not the same person I was a year ago even.
I think your experiences, first of all, take you to somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think. And knowing you now for a few years, watching you, and it's pretty cool. Because I think this last thing was imperative because you have a different likeness about you. And I can see the beauty and the sincerity and everything that you're doing now. And I'm not a big fan of the word. It's not that I don't believe in it. Humility, of course. Yeah. But I think I prefer grounded.
Yeah.
Because it's just real, it's tangible. Here I am, without getting psychological.
Yeah.
I'm not a psychic. What do I know? But you seem more grounded, and you're putting one foot in front of the other, and you're just doing things like this podcast and your other podcast, and talking in meetings and how you share. So, I'm a big fan of anything authentic.
Yeah,
good, bad, or indifferent.
Authenticity is.
While I may not have a program that some people find as maybe inspiring, which is fine. You know what? In any given day, being different, right, for all of us.
Yes.
What I do is working today, and it may not be what is necessarily suggested all the time, but it also may not be what Joe Blow does over here with, sponsors and sponsories and big books and this and that and the other. And whatever works for us is a path that we need to find. And like it says, there's different ways within this to do it. And I think that's important because the other night there was a newcomer, and as always, some people get swarming, and I didn't bother. And I was like, I'll talk to him if I see him in a couple of meetings, because there were, 8 people got around. I'm like, that's a lot. So I'll talk to him next time.
Even when I came back in this time, I got swarmed a little bit. I was like, it was a lot of good advice, but also I was getting talked at. I was like, well, when I went through some stuff a couple years back, it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when my birth mom had passed. I think you shared around that time, and you were basically like, and no one fucking talk about it to me after this meeting, which was
no one talked to me after this meeting about it.
Yeah,
because I don't want to hear it.
Right.
It's not that you don't have good advice, not that you may not have even been through the experience. But the fact of the matter is, at that moment, I just want to be alone. I came to the meeting. Yeah. I heard people talk. I shared. And I appreciate and love that people want to help. Yeah. And I love that about all of us and about, circles and within the meetings and in the groups and whatever, because that's important. That's how this thing works, right?
Yeah.
Each other.
Yeah.
But also, I was like, dude, yeah, leave me the fuck alone. Don't talk to me about this fucking thing after the meeting, because I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a bad thing. It was good and healthy for me.
Yeah.
I don't need your unsolicited advice today.
Mm-hmm.
Next week,
maybe
I might need it and want it and desire it. But right now I don't.
Yeah.
All it's going to do now is, I know myself fairly well, and I knew it would just irritate me and just make me angry.
Yeah.
You know, my girlfriend will tell you this, and my stepmom and dad will tell you this too. As long as I remember, I'm a moody person.
Yeah.
I'm moody. I was the only child until 13. Then my little brother, whom I love, but came along and ruined some shit. You know?
Yeah.
What is this kid doing? Taking all the attention?
Uh-huh.
I had plenty of attention.
Hold the thought. I have to pee so bad.
Oh, come on.
Pause. I can cut it out.
Did you actually pause?
No, I'll cut it out later. Or leave
Do you want to see what I do in the video while you're pausing me?
Yeah, you can just tell the people something good.
Tell the people something. Well, everybody, I am now alone in this podcast. Taylor has taken it upon himself to pee, and I can actually hear him peeing in the other room. So that's fun. I don't know. That's all I got. I was talking about Taylor peeing and this pretty good soda water. Yes. Hey, is this that Alpha Brain Joe Rogan recommended? Is that the Joe Rogan Alpha Brain?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Do you feel it work?
Yeah. I do, because I go through phases where I take it and then I don't. So
it doesn't depend on...
What?
So you've noticed a difference when you take it?
Yeah, because I took it last night. I had a show last night in Roswell, and I did 15 minutes, and I had one of the best sets of my life. I got in the middle of the set.
So you know what you're saying is taking drugs.
Taking light drugs. Those are light drugs. Those are drugs that's on par with coffee. But it just it helps me, it's on an Alpha Brain, whatever. Sponsor the podcast. Why not? But
Alpha Brain.
It helps
Memory
my brain.
focus.
I just feel like I can recall stuff quicker and helps me articulate better.
No, because I also take a couple of things for similar things, because I want to, number one, keep my brain.
Yeah.
You know, look, my grandfather did crossword puzzles till he died.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's
not my thing.
It's like the original Alpha Brain.
He's the original Alpha Brain. Yeah, so that, whether it helped or not, I don't know, but he was sharp to the end, you know.
I think it helps me just connect dots in my brain, because sometimes I'm on it. But the other times I can't even talk right now.
Yeah.
Some day to day. But not eating bread and sugar during the week, I think is helping just cognitively, I just feel more focused.
Of course you do. Because you're not putting garbage in your system.
Yeah.
And look, no offense. Hey, everybody's got to do what they got to do.
Sometimes garbage is delicious. You ever eat delicious garbage?
But we all know what is healthy and what is not for the most part.
Cucumbers?
Our body, sure. But
Eggs?
Our bodies are a little different within that.
Yeah.
You know, some people have allergies.
Okay.
Maybe gluten, maybe dairy.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite thing you eat right now that's healthy?
I do. I mostly eat fish and chicken.
Yeah. Would you swallow goldfish for $50?
Ooh, man.
Because do you think...
Is it dead or alive?
He's alive.
Oh, man, I don't know. So my fear with that is when he's in me, is he going to stay alive and I'm going to feel him go all the way through me?
Where do the bones go? Because goldfish have bones, right?
Out?
That's...
Do you shit the whole goldfish?
Yeah, he just comes out solid.
And then he goes into the toilet and swims away.
Yeah. He's like, fuck you. He goes down the toilet.
Yeah, but he needs oxygen. Into the pipe.
So you don't think there's any oxygen in your body?
Well, I think it's unfair that he would have to be in the sewer.
I know.
At least
so
in our body.
That's where you draw the line. Is he's in your stomach? That's fine. But when he gets to the gross sewer,
I'm drawing the line there.
That sewer fish.
And my stomach is weird
because you eat healthy, so it's fine in your stomach. It's cleaner than the sewer.
For
wow.
Sure.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. What else you got?
When did you get your first tattoo?
Oh, fuck. I think I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I went to.
You got your
couldn't do it in the
arms,
parlor because you had to be 18. But the tattoo artist I knew, my friend knew him, and it was right down on on Ponce near the old Masquerade, which is the stupid, they call it Old Fourth Ward now, and that stupid Ponce Market is there, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I can't picture it in my head, but...
It doesn't matter. The building was there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all the stuff that's there.
Yeah.
And it was cool back then. It was, a little more risque and certainly not trendy. But there was a great club there, Masquerade, and it was down the street from there. And he had an apartment. And so we went back there and I got a dumb tribal tattoo.
Yeah. Is it covered up or it's still there?
Well, it's still there.
It's just like incorporated into...
It's incorporated in some other stuff. And I had to hide that from my family. Yeah. But at the time, the tribal barbed wire kind of thing. It's tribal, really. But
are you getting tattoos anymore? Or are you just done getting tattoos?
No, I actually last year my back was 80% done for years.
Yeah.
I say years, several years, a few years, 7 years or something.
Yeah.
And I just stalled going back because I tried to go back once. And whatever reason, I just went in the middle of space or whatever. The artist started, and within 5 minutes, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Huh.
The outline was already there, and a lot of the filler was already there.
You just didn't want to sit through it?
But then he was going to do what I recently finally finished, like last year.
Yeah.
But this was a few years ago. I tried to go back, and I was like, all right, let's finish this.
Yeah.
And then I remember just sitting there, had my iPod on, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go.
Does his back hurt?
It's the worst. And so I literally said...
Because arms are easy.
5 minutes, I said, dude, stop.
Yeah.
He's like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, nope, we're done. I paid him for what I owed him for his time. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't in this... I don't know what was going on in my life, but I wasn't in the space to do it. But last year I went back. It was very painful. I'm laying on the table, face down, and I'm so glad it's done and over with.
Yeah.
But I finished that other 20%. Now, there's a couple things we could probably go do, but no one would notice but me. But if I ever even see it. Yeah. But I remember laying down and I'm grabbing his leg on his pant leg, and he goes, "You're not going to let go, are you?" And I'm like, "Nope. Yeah. Finish it. Let's go." I'm mentally here.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. And it just feels like now I think part of it's age, and I do hear that. Or maybe that's an excuse. I'm a victim of getting older, Taylor.
Yeah, that's your trauma. Your trauma is getting older.
I'm a fucking victim. I'm old now. I don't know, but I do hear
This is alt-right Cleve right now, everyone.
I hear it consistently. Well, yeah, it seems like it hurts more when you get older.
It could.
Yeah.
Maybe your skin gets different.
I mean, I'm sure it does. More sensitive. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's true. And I have a leg piece that I want to finish. I want to finish that. I may do some touch-up stuff.
Yeah.
I may blacken out some of this right here, but the rest of everything is. Yeah. I'm fairly happy with what I have.
Because I was saying to someone recently, like getting a bunch of tattoos seems like a younger person's thing.
It is a younger person's
If you start when you're older,
man.
Yeah. I've been going crazy lately, but I like it. I love them.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't really think about, like, even my dad and stepmom, they don't even see them.
Yeah.
It's just a part of me.
Yeah.
Which good to hear many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't see his tattoos anymore. It's funny, though. There was my grandmother, who was my favorite human being and my favorite woman on the planet. She passed during COVID, not because of COVID. She till the whole time.
Yeah.
Her whole life, I would do my best to wear longer sleeves or whatever. She just didn't like them. Yeah. I always wanted to respect the fact. But I was her, I was the firstborn and this and the other. And she was just, even though she didn't agree, she always had my back. She was the woman. Yeah. She was the shit.
Yeah.
I loved her so much. Still love her so much. But yeah, she didn't, it wasn't her thing. And that generation still, they went off the war and they got tattoos, but it wasn't her, she wasn't around it. She didn't get it. Hell,
that's why I like tattoos on my forearms, because it looks like someone.
Looks like 1958.
Yeah.
Or 53.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right on. That's some World War II shit.
Yeah.
Way to go, man. You even got the bird like in World War II right there.
I like it.
Like the vets. It's cool. Cindy Lou.
I like the Grinch.
Is that what is that?
I love the Grinch.
That's
Cindy
what that
Lou
is?
No, it's my mom's name.
Okay.
Cindy Lou
It's a
Neely.
good name. I like
Cindy
it.
Lou. It's a good.
So you got your mom's name tattooed on you.
Yeah.
That's killer, man.
Because I wanted a mom tattoo forever, but then my dad over the 4th of July he basically said, "Oh, you should get your mom on there." Like, you just sealed the deal.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because my parents now, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't give a shit.
I mean, what does it matter?
Yeah.
No one cares. I mean, lawyers, doctors, everybody has tattoos now.
That's true.
In fact, you and I are part of the masses and not sticking out to be unique and unique and original by not having. My girlfriend doesn't have one tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was so weird. Yeah, once I started getting them, it's like I noticed people that don't have any at all. It's like, you look kind of naked.
It seems like less and less. And it's like kind of cool to see people without them. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm like, somebody asked me, should I get a tattoo? I'm like, you know what?
You should.
And I think they were.
I think babies should get tattoos.
I think, yeah, totally.
You should get babies tattoos. Instead of getting circumcised, just get a tattoo.
Instead of the circumcised?
Yeah.
Or just in addition to
I only recently have been hearing that, like, and this has been such a recovery-heavy episode. But thanks for coming on. It's been great. But, like, people are, like, saying circumcision. They're like, oh, it's kind of like on par with female genital mutilation, circumcision. Well, I've been circumcised 3 times, so I'm a full supporter. But it's
just on your penis, or
yeah, it's kind of just like it's down to the bone down there, down to the penis bone. Yeah. But some people are against it, and then other people are like, for health reasons, like, oh no, like if.
So here's the thing with all this kind of thing. First of all, what anyone does is none of my business. I don't get involved, and I don't care.
Yeah.
So you don't affecting me and my household?
You don't care if people's babies are circumcised? You're not thinking about it?
I don't think about it.
Like
because I'm circumcised.
Yeah. If you made
it was just the thing to do.
Yeah.
I do know a couple of guys who weren't.
Yeah.
And we were kind of joking, and this is years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
What the hell's that like?
Prove it.
Well,
let me see your penis.
They did.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was
wow.
Like, oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
And to me, it's weird because I don't know any better.
Right.
But to them, it wouldn't be weird because that's what they know.
Yeah. And you see it more in pornography now, which I don't watch. People have told me it's in porn. I don't watch it. It's bad for you. But
it is bad for you.
It does seem bad.
It's that whole dopamine
yeah.
thing. Like anything, though. Like, whether it's just sleeping around, whether it's shopping.
Yeah.
I had a beanies.
Yeah.
Like I went through
just buying a bunch of beanies.
I went through a big beanie. I was living in LA too, and they're very trendy at the time. I think. I mean, I still wear them in the winter.
Like the ones that are big and baggy on the back.
Oh well, yeah. Like if you're gonna wear one, I don't mean the hippie ones.
Like
I mean,
a bunch of skin hanging off your head.
Like like being a circumcised big head with some hair hanging out.
Yes.
And in my beanies.
Yeah.
But like I would go through phases. I think it was last year. I went down. I'm going to buy a bunch of... I just went through this phase. I was buying Vans.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I love my Vans. But I mean, like... so again, that just goes back to feeding that. And our buddy Damon was talking about the other night. And the same thing. You're doing this. You might as well... Not might as well. But you're using it in place of...
Yeah.
The behavior is that of drinking and doing drugs. And that's never been a secret. I mean, I've completely been... wildly aware of my behavior.
Yeah.
I am acutely aware of my shit. Now sometimes do we go through those phases where we're doing shit and we need a minute to realize what we're doing?
Yes,
sure.
Of course.
But once I'm like, oh, and now I can laugh about it. But yeah, so the porn thing, it's just, And
when I start seeing someone new, I'm like, I need to not watch this at all. Because
it's just a lot, man, and I just don't. I'd rather spend my energy doing other things, and it's no secret. I mean, I was single for a long, long time, and I did my. And you know what? And when you're in the environment that I was in, it doesn't really matter the environment. But I was. You got
a lot of first kisses.
A lot of first kisses, and when you're in that music, entertainment world, again, whatever world, comic world, same thing. When you're in that environment, and my experience is music world, and you're single, and you're playing with cool people in the big stages and the big names, and you're getting spoiled and all this stuff, and in that environment everyone's kind of doing that, and it's easy because they're waiting for you, literally,
at that level.
She's at the stage. She wants to meet you.
My God, I can't imagine what like Led Zeppelin or any of those
different.
That was different.
Granted, I started doing clubs and stuff in the early '90s and got my taste of what I thought was semi-success in mid late '90s, and then I had the real stuff later with music, and I'm forever thankful for those moments. And like 2007 is when we kind of started doing stuff for the next few years, and then that's when and it was a perfect age for me because we were in our timelines and ages, I don't know, early 30s. We're old enough to know better, but still being spoiled enough not to care, and also too old. We knew better, but But I will say, we were told by our manager at the time, motherfucker, check IDs. Yeah. And my girlfriend loves these stories. I am going to try to write a book sooner than later. Now I've said it again, so I'm going to have to start. But not if anybody really gives a shit, and not that I had any kind of level of notoriety like that, but the 10 people who might give a shit might read it. Also therapeutic for me, and people in the Atlanta music scene and stuff like that. People keep telling me, and so then I'm like, all right, whether anyone gives a shit, I don't know, and that's not about that. That would be a bonus, and maybe 10 people would buy it, maybe not, but I really do think it would be therapeutic, and I would love to have my story on print, and so it's been several years of people telling me that, and I think a lot of it was because of my experiences in the music world, and again, we were a B band, and what happened was we got to open up for all these A guys, and it was just such a privilege, and I had a different relationship with it then. And
what's the biggest band you ever opened for?
We toured with Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Okay.
We did
Kiss?
his solo tour.
Who the fuck is Kiss?
And that
the guys that wear makeup.
That was no matter what. And then we did a lot of other names, and people always ask, what was the name of your band? Like, well, it was Rockets to Ruin. But here's what I really lead with. I lead with this. You wouldn't know us, but you would know everybody we played with. Yeah. Or a lot of people we played with. And that's more true. Yeah. But we had a song on the radio, and we had ESPN bought a song. And,
that's cool.
We just made dumb decisions, and also we got to live a great. Someone told me who was sober. He goes, and I was bitching about something. It was the business and something about why can't blah blah and manager this. We had a great manager at one point. Listen, a guy named Rachel. He was. I'm great friends with him today, and incredible. And he was a big. I can brag about his band. He was a 20 million seller. He was the big wigs in the late 80s, early 90s, and still big. And we were so, dude, I can't even imagine. Like it's surreal. The cats that I got to meet, play with, maybe record with, maybe get produced by. Still, now today, working with guys in the studio, that were only guys I could have imagined. Dreamed. So even though we hit that glass ceiling, we got X, Y, and Z, but we weren't able to get the superstardom or anything. Probably would have killed us if we did. And that's kind of what we talk about in this documentary with some guys from here in Atlanta that are superstars, and some aren't. But had they done this at 21, would they still be here? I don't know. But for us, even at that time, we did. One of the guys in the program, who was a musician and a well-known guy, he goes, dude, you may not be doing this and this, but you are doing this and this. And he put it in perspective. And that comes back to me on a regular basis. My yoga studio, my friendships, my relationships, my family. Put it in perspective, dude. He said to me, he goes, dude, you're doing what 1 million people want to do right now. So shut up. And enjoy it. Right. Even though maybe you could have made the man, whatever it was. Right. Some decisions could have been better over here. You could have done this, and this. And that's true. But I don't regret a minute of it now necessarily. In fact, I had such a resentment against my bass player because he got us kicked off some tours. That'd be in the book. There's good stories there. He drank a lot, did drugs. There was, the stories. In the band unit, there was everything from infidelity to drugs to alcohol. I'm sober this whole time. Right. And I'm living this wild, what's back and forth? What's a good word for that?
Push and pull.
Dichotomy?
Give and take.
Give and take.
Ebb and flow.
Ebb and flow. Like relationships. Like, yes.
You know how a river goes one way, but then
then
when it turns to winter, it goes the other way.
Yeah.
Because like river, when the poles switch,
the river runs
through
red.
It. I don't know. That's that Korea movie, right? When communism attacks, the Red Korea. What's it called? Red Dawn.
What? Red Dawn.
Yeah.
With the original Red Dawn.
I don't know. I've never seen any of them. You brought it up.
Listen, we're talking about Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, he's great.
Red Dawn.
No, I've never seen it.
The original Red Dawn. Yeah. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, that's just timeless.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It holds the test of time. I don't know, man. So yeah, back and forth. And I wasn't going to a lot of meetings, and I was acting out in ways that I've been open about. And, you know, but I didn't drink and I didn't do drugs.
Yeah.
And that's what really we try to do every day. And that's what the old timer said, look, you don't drink, you don't do drugs, you keep coming back. And I think a lot of this, I was lucky enough to try to get through osmosis, the not drinking part.
Yeah.
And that obsession had left.
Yeah.
But I wanted to act out, and I did what you were talking about and earlier. And it was like, you know, I just would find myself going, man, I'm still, I can't believe.
Yeah. I'm
still acting out as if I'm using.
Yeah.
But at least I'm not using.
Yeah.
I'm using other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know, we're sitting here sober right now talking on a podcast with sober people. Maybe someone's listening.
There's about 40 people.
Hey, that's fucking great, man. Nobody listens to me. That's fucking awesome, dude. And, you know, we get to live life. We get to do these things. And, you know, I get to see people in my yoga studio from the rooms.
Yeah.
And man, that is such a, I can't express, there's not even words to express my gratitude. My business partner is not sober. She's not one of us, but she has her own experiences in life, and her and I make great business partners. And I tell her, I'm like, man, it's so cool. I get to see people that are in my meetings come to the studio.
Yeah.
And while no one else might know it, I know it. And when I'm in class practicing or I see them if I'm teaching or something, which isn't often, but I'm just like, it's a different kind of connection that 3 or 4 people that we have in the room that we know is extra cool.
Right.
You know, and it's just such a wonderful thing. And these are things I get to do. I get to have this studio, and it helped me so much in my recovery. The yoga did. And now I get to watch it continue to help me.
Yeah.
But also I see how it's helped other people that are in recovery and other people that are not, but specifically what we are, what we do. And I'm like, man, I can't pinch myself. I own this yoga studio, and these friends in recovery come here, and it's this extra cool bond, man. And it's bond, James. I don't know, it's fucking rad, man. Like I'm just sitting here right now, just thinking about it. I cannot believe. Do I have everything I want? No. And if I had everything I wanted, would I be happy? No. I don't even like that word, happy.
Yeah.
But, I like the grounded. And however, do I want more? Sure. We all want more. And I don't necessarily mean it. I do mean it in the addictive way. I want more.
Yeah.
But do I want
more?
You
want 2 Land Cruisers.
I want a Jeep Wagoneer, 79 or 80, or like we were talking the other
night. In that
truck. Me and you and Jake were talking about Silverados from the early 90s or late 80s. Sure. Would it fix me? No. But would it be fun? Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and what more do I want? Well, I guess I'd want to, you didn't even ask me that. It's funny. It's hard to say. I would normally get asked that kind of thing. Well, what do you see yourself in the future? Well, first of all, I don't. I just try to stay in the day. But I hope things continue. You know, with the yoga studio, we had an incident where a pipe burst and everything flooded in a couple months ago, and I literally thought I was having a nervous breakdown. I don't know if that's fair to say, because I don't know if that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I was definitely on the verge of something that was beyond anything I've ever experienced.
Did you cry?
Stress. I did cry with stress and emotion that is new to me. It was foreign.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like I don't know, it was just foreign. And it was like...
You don't mean like Chinese or something?
Yes, kind of. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? And anyway, man, but I got through it. And I didn't drink. But I'll be honest, and I've said this in meetings recently. I was like, that was the first time I really was... there was a couple of 3 days in there where I was like, my girlfriend was worried.
Yeah.
I was just foggy. Couldn't get grounded.
Yeah.
And it's not unique. Houses, businesses flood, or they have things happen. But man, I'm just, again, my business partner was able to help take the reins on that. And then I was able to kind of get back on my, hold on, one foot in front of the other. Here's what we got to do. We do this, and hell, we were only closed for 2 weeks. We reopened after the new floors got put in, all this stuff. And I'm just thankful, man. But so also it goes to show you never know what can happen, because things happen out of our control, and hopefully we won't drink or drug of them, but we can just, go in front of them. But have you heard from that girl, Lynn Clark, that I kissed in 6th grade?
No, she's calling in right now. Lynn? What do you, me and Drew always ask this to each other. What do you, I don't know what your daily routine looks like, but what did you do to stay sober today? That's what me and Drew always ask each other. We say, hey, what did you do to stay sober today? Drew usually beats me to the punch, and I don't think that's very fair.
What does he say?
He always asks me what I did to stay sober today.
Oh, so you're
it's our tradition. I'm asking you, what did you do to stay sober today? Or what do you do on a daily basis?
I don't drink.
Scream at God? Sometimes. Are you like a big prayer guy? Are you a big God guy? What are you, do you make your bed in the morning?
Go with, the wind blows.
Yeah.
I need to stay in that ease of the flow of whatever the earth and the world and things around me kind of do, and try to be open to whatever is in front of me, because again, flood at the studio, things change, right? Like that, and I don't know it. So I try to adjust to whatever's happening, or like this. You asked me last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure I don't have anything in my head. Do I have anything tomorrow night? No. I get up. I have my moment to talk to whatever. Try to turn myself over to not me. I'm not a big fan of keep my feet grounded between me and what's bigger than me, because I still have to do some work, and I still have to make decisions.
Yeah.
I'm not in the whole, I'm still in control of certain things.
Right.
With the aid and help of something bigger than me is how I sort of like to think of it. And then I get up, I check my stuff with the Still Hot Yoga, the yoga studio, and then I text my girlfriend right after that, or right before that. And then I get my daily text from our buddy Andre.
Oh yeah.
That has been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Because what I will do is I will take and forward that to some people that are in my other friend group of sobriety group, and I don't take credit for it. I could, but I don't. That's kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Though I did send it to some guys that were like, look at you stepping up your game. I'm like, it was sent to me. I'm not going to take credit for that. Right. They know me better than that anyway, first and foremost. I'm not going to do that. And I will say that I try to check in with a couple of cats in the program that I know, that I've been friends with, or people from a couple of meetings or whatever. And by that, I'll just send out a text checking in. Today, a friend of mine who's not in the program, is an older cat that I know from music world. I went by he gave me a really cool antique thing today, and it was a privilege that I know this guy.
Yeah.
From who he is and what he's done and what he's been a part of in life and in the music world in particular. And that he thought enough of me to ask me if I wanted this particular antique art thing. I was like, God, yeah, man, what? Yeah, wow, thanks, And then when I saw him today, then he gave me something else. It's like, killer, dude. And it's just like, oh man, people are thinking of me to give me something. So I think that whatever I I don't know. I led a meeting the other night because I was asked to.
Mm-hmm.
Last minute. I did not want to, but I didn't really want to.
Right.
The other week, I got asked to lead another one, that Tuesday day meeting, that men's meeting on...
Son of My Belly?
Where you can eat breakfast?
Yeah, Son of My Belly, that one.
That's so cool.
I've never been. I should go.
You should go.
I'm usually working.
You can literally order your lunch while we were in the meeting.
Cleveland can go because he doesn't have a day job. Well, I guess you have a yoga studio, but
so here's the thing.
But you've had so much more time to set your life up because you're old. You're 75 years old.
I'm 103.
Do you feel old though? You don't. I mean, you're not old.
So there are some days with owning a local business. First of all, I get to do that.
Yeah.
I love that. I get to.
Yeah.
First of all, now, okay, like every business owner or in any business, no matter what we do, we're going to bitch a little bit.
Yeah,
everyone does. You do. I do. No matter what we do.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
You own a business. Well, you work for yourself.
Yeah, it is a business, small business.
I'm
business. CEO.
There you go,
man. And sometimes boss
not the CEO.
Gives me a raise.
My business partner, I think, is the CEO, and thankfully, she does the numbers in the books. Yeah. But
you're the CBO, the Chief Bitching Officer.
Yeah, Chief Bitching Officer. I like that. But our studio is 22 years old. We bought into it about 7-8 years ago, and I used to go there previously anyway. And like I said, it helped change my life in sobriety.
Yeah.
But doing the Bikram yoga, but I have days where I feel, well, during that flood, I felt 100.
Yeah.
I was depleted.
Yeah, I bet.
The stress, and then. Owning a local business, and I don't know if it's true for my friends who own local restaurants. We've talked a little bit about it. Buddies who own some restaurants in Decatur or whatever, but, and I can't make everybody happy all the time.
Right.
I want to. And the type of owning a yoga studio, you want to make everyone... You hope everybody has a great experience.
Yeah.
We all have teachers we do prefer over other teachers, but it's the same thing every time. So what does it matter? But you have a rapport with certain people, and I have such an incredible bunch of teachers that work at the studio that have made it their home, and they care. They put in that care, and I couldn't ask for anything better. And the community itself is incredible, and the recovery community, the bonus, which I call it kind of the bonus community that come to the studio, incredible. But again, you have those, like any business, you have clients that I'm still a business owner and I still have to make money. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a pushover. To be honest, so-and-so doesn't have any money.
You hear that, guys? Take advantage of Cleveland.
Here's the thing. I will give people, especially in recovery.
Yeah.
People want to come and try my studio. We don't do free passes, but there's a couple times where, like, some of our friends in the meetings are like, hey, so-and-so wants to try a class. I'm like, God, you know what? Yeah, just text me the information and I'll hook them up with a class.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather, especially people in recovery, I want you to experience what our other friends in recovery experience at my studio in a class, because I think it seems to 9 out of 10 people, I can tell you that, benefit for our anxiety, alcoholic, addict brains. Now, other people go because, and I hear this 9 out of 10 times, I kept going back because it helped my back.
Yeah.
It helped. The physical byproduct was incredible. Constantly hear it from anyone. And I love that. And again, that is... If that's what I get to do to be of service to people and continue to own this place where people come, instead of getting stressed out when I do and go, fuck it, we're selling this, we're closing the doors, whatever.
Yeah.
You have those moments. They don't. Luckily, it's not often, but every now and then you just, like, when the flood happened, I'm like, we had to 1 foot in front of there and keep going. We had to keep the doors open. A couple people came in and were like, yeah. They thought we were going to be closed for 3 or 4 months, or they thought, are you going? Is this it?
Yeah.
You have those moments because you're stressed, and because look, owning a yoga studio, there's nothing to get rich about that. There might be some out there. There are a couple, but we're not like that. We're a small mom and pop place, and I'm proud of that. I love that.
Are you ma or pa?
Yeah, I am. No, I'm neither. Motherfucker. But you want to make your clients happy. And you hope that you do. And I think you get to work for one person at a time, right?
Yeah.
So for us, you have anywhere from 20 to 40 people in the same... the joke is half the room happy and half the room unhappy, then it's right on. So I don't know, man. I wish I could make everybody happy, and I can't, but I do my best. I really do. I try to make everything. We're doing what we do. The heat needs to be consistent. What we teach is consistent.
Yeah.
And so it's really, you can't stray that much further away from it, but some people just might not like the vibe of the teacher or me.
So you have like a device or something that keeps the room hot? Do you think you could do it with just like a fire in the middle of the room? Do you think that would be the same?
That's called a sweat lodge.
They have a fire, like with logs and stuff and smoke.
I think sweat lodge. You go up to the sweat lodge. Yeah. You go to a reservation. You go find people who actually do traditional real sweat lodges. I knew some people, and I would when I lived out west, I actually spent some time in the Navajo res.
Mm-hmm.
That was an incredible experience.
Whoa!
Yeah, when I left LA, I knew I had to get LA off me.
Yeah.
And I did. I went and spent some time there. It was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And on this coast, I've spent time on in some Cherokee stuff, which is obviously nearby.
Yeah.
North Carolina. I had but out there you had to have. A friend of mine's dad was on the council, so the reservation. So I knew I could go out and hang out with permission and all that stuff. I mean, we're all mutts. I'm actually legally and by blood part Indian.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Who cares? Nobody cares.
There's like I've heard
it's like a third of a third. Enough to get actual. Apparently, I can get a college education for free.
Hell yeah!
I don't have a college.
You didn't go to college. You didn't need to.
I went for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hell, I dropped out of high school, got my GED, then later went back to college for 5 minutes, thinking, I'm gonna do. Yeah. Plus, I wanted my parents to be proud. But music took a different turn in my life, as did drugs and alcohol.
You could always go back.
I actually thought about it about 4 or 5 years ago. I was actually so close that I went by the community college. I got the application. In fact, I took whatever test you got to take to then take the test. It's a pre-test test, maybe? Yeah. I don't know. I went by and I talked to this wonderful lady.
Yeah.
And I went in and took this thing, and I guess I did okay. And she said, okay, well, next. And then I just kind of was like, kind of lost interest. Because I thought about
typical
psychology.
Impulsive.
Yeah, it was impulsive. Well, I'd been thinking about it. A friend of mine who's she comes to my yoga studio, and she's not my therapist by any means. No one there is, but I love her. She's a psychologist, and the reason I like her, she's a criminal psychologist, and so I talk to her sometimes. She can't talk to me about details, but she's told me about some of this stuff. She spends a lot of time in jail with really serious criminals, and she studied under the guy who did Jeffrey Dahmer and all this stuff.
My goodness!
I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I've called her for a couple of roles. I'm like, how would this person behave? But anyway, all that to say, I found it interesting, and she always said, she goes, well, you're going to be this age in 4 years, whether you go back to college or not. Yeah. And in 4 years, you could have a degree.
Yep.
Either way, you're going to be that age. I thought about it. I was like, well, you're right. So what does it matter? And I don't think you're ever too old to do most anything.
What's your, do you have a dream crime? To get away with?
Yeah, I think I'd want to rob a bank.
Yeah, that seems like the coolest. I love bank robbery movies.
I do too.
They're so fun. Robbing a bank seems...
rob some heavy-hitting drug dealers.
Yeah. Or cocaine smuggling or something.
Maybe.
Flying a plane.
You know what I'd really like to do, and this sounds crazy? My cousin is...
Steal the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, well, that'd be... I don't know. It's not even interesting.
No,
it's too political. I don't get involved in anything politics, and I think that would include crime.
Have you seen National Treasure?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
But then wouldn't you rather steal something else?
Bill of Rights.
Indiana Jones, the original.
Yeah. Steal
the 80s versions.
I'm going to steal the Grand Canyon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So dream crime is rob a bank.
Yeah, I think.
Or rip off a giant drug dealer.
Yeah, or.
And one more. It can't be financial because you already did 2 of those.
Okay, so. Oh man, this is. I don't like anything political. I hate politics.
Yeah.
I have my opinions.
Of course.
But they're none of your business.
Yeah, that's how I try to.
And as a local business owner, Just like in the program.
Yeah.
I have no fucking opinions. My yoga studio has no opinions.
Yeah.
On
Outside Matters?
Huh?
On Outside Matters?
Yeah, man.
No opinions on Outside Matters?
No opinion on Outside Matters because it's a business. I don't want to go somewhere and they...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have you come paint my house and you tell me about how you think I should blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what? Whatever. And I try to respect those. I respect whatever you are. I don't care. I try to look at, and the program probably has taught me more than anything to have the sympathy and empathy of wherever people are, whatever their mindset might be, even if I don't agree with it. It doesn't mean I have to hang out with you and associate with you. But you know what? Unless you're in my face preaching to me about a religion or a politics.
That sounds exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It seems exhausting.
I don't care, and I'm not going to fight you on it.
I'd rather rob a bank.
You don't need to see my way. No one needs to see what's in this head.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
with brains and stuff.
Oh my God.
Even if we saw what's inside your head, Cleveland, we can't figure out what the thoughts are.
I'm trying to think of that third thing. I was trying to avoid you. So kind of without getting political.
Yeah.
I would love to somehow be, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just trying to be honorable. That's just silly.
Okay.
Let's, the third one, it can't be about money.
Yeah.
Give me a hint then. What would I do?
You could turn a whale into a guy or something.
That's magic.
It's not magic. It's surgery.
As
far as I'm concerned, surgery is magic. So maybe it is magic. Okay. I couldn't do it. Could you do surgery? Gun to your head, Cleveland. You have to do surgery.
My brother's a doctor.
Is he good at it?
I mean, I guess.
That's good.
Him and his wife are both doctors. They're family practitioners.
Wow.
Yeah. They live in L.A. Mm-hmm. Calabasas. What is the third one? I mean, does auto theft involve money?
No, maybe not. What are you going to steal?
Like, the movie.
Italian Job.
No. Yes, but the other one.
Fast and Furious.
No, come on, man.
About cars?
Yeah, the Mustang, Nicolas Cage, Angelina Jolie.
Bullet.
Jesus Christ.
Angelina.
69, Gone in 69.
I've never seen it. Gone in 60 Seconds?
Gone in 60
I've
seconds.
never seen it. I've heard of it, though.
It's so good.
It's good? I need to watch it.
So good. As far as those kinds of music goes, it's a good one. It's really good. And
so you would steal...
That would be a good rush.
You'd kidnap Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie.
And make them
recreate the movie in front of you.
I don't think I would kidnap them. I think I'd be like, hey, you guys want to do this?
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right.
Come on, I'm Cleveland.
I mean, I don't have any money to give you like that. I mean, you guys already got dough.
Yeah. You don't need more money. SAG's on strike. You have time on your hands.
You got time on your hands.
Make the movie in front of me. Do a play version.
Make a little knockoff indie.
Yeah.
And your names will make it go YouTube viral.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will make money. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
Well, Cleveland, I think we've done an hour and a half. That's crazy.
They can't hear this whole thing. They're going to get irritated and bored.
This is 30 minutes longer than Drew and I usually do.
The only thing I like to watch Joe Rogan's. I like to listen to Mark Maron. I like to listen to Theo. I like to listen to Taylor. But I also I like watching the Joe Rogans.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Like, I don't want to listen to it.
I
want to sit down on my Spotify and watch it.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
I'll watch them if I'm eating something and I'll watch it.
I do some criminal. My friend has a criminal podcast. Number one in the nation, too. Should I find it?
Your friend?
I got to promote her. Yeah,
she's got another podcast on my podcast.
Is that okay? It's criminal.
You can do what you want.
Different than yours.
That's true.
I mean, what do you care?
You can do whatever you want. You're the co-host.
It's called Suspect.
Huh. Never heard of it.
My friend Ashley.
Must be number one if I've never heard of it.
She was an investigative reporter. I always brag about her. I'm just glad to be a friend with somebody who's actually made an actual difference in the world, and she has. Occasionally she comes to the yoga studio, but we met several years ago, and her husband and her are just great people, but she's done real stuff to actually make a real difference in something that's tangible.
Yeah.
In her case, it was with rape cases and victims and stuff. It was really incredible. But yeah, Suspect, her thing is pretty cool. But yeah, I'll listen to hers. But again, I want to watch Joe. Why? Yeah. Tell me why.
I couldn't tell you. You can watch this. This is on YouTube.
I don't watch this. I don't like watching stuff with myself. But I'll send it to my girlfriend and friends, and I'll post it. I repost your stuff anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm like, go check out Taylor. He's my buddy, and he's got cool shit. And he's funny. I've seen his stand up a couple times.
That's true. Well, it's even better.
Well, this is cool.
Yeah.
I love you have this setup.
Yeah, it's nice. Do you have any imparting wisdom to tell?
The older I get, the less I know.
Wow. Anything that's not cliche?
Probably not, because that's all I've been taught.
Yeah.
I've heard. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking dick. And I try not to be a dick.
Yeah.
I'm moody. I try to watch. I try to be authentic. I try to do my best. I try not to offend, but I'm not going to walk eggshells either.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. It is what it is, man. And I can't be always as concerned about what other people think. And I think that's what my goal is, to try to be. I have friends who could give a fuck, truly give a fuck about what other people think.
Yeah.
I've been really much better about that in my last few years. And I don't mean not anything inappropriate or not, but more like, this is my life and I'm going to live it, and this is what I got to do for myself. And if you don't like it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Why are you concerned with me anyway?
Yeah.
It
just goes back to that AA thing, just the concept. When my first sponsor in Atlanta told me about the concept of like, it's none of my business in regards to anything. Right. It's none of my business what people say about me behind my back. It's none of my business how other people live their lives, because I have no control over it.
Right. None. And I like that. I had a sponsor tell me the same thing. He goes, it's none of your business what JoJo over here thinks of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sucks, but you're right.
You're right.
It is none of my business.
Because
now I like to keep an even keel, and I don't like a lot of ripples in my in the waves. You know what I mean? In the water, because I try to be as old timers tell me this. I will say this: don't get, and I like this. It's probably not original either, but was I telling you this the other night? I don't know. Somebody asked me, and I was talking about. I said, "Oh no!" Another friend of ours in the rooms. And we were kind of laughing about some of the way we do things versus some of the way other people do things. Not laughing, just kind of going, it's interesting because we do have different paths. Mm-hmm. And that is important. If we were all doing the same exact way.
Right.
Then,
yeah.
But my old timers used to tell me, don't get overly involved. And that means in the meetings.
Yeah.
With the people here.
Mm-hmm.
Be involved. Make AA number one.
Yeah.
So you can go live that life outside the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, have your friendship and relationships in the AA. But don't get overly involved. Yeah. What does that mean? To different people, it might mean different things.
Yeah.
But don't get overly involved. And I always like that, because it means, hey, man, I'm involved enough to be a part of, have relationships, but I'm not so involved that it's going to stress me out, or I'm going to get involved in that person's business, and unless I'm invited.
Right.
I don't want to be involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you want to invite me. I mean, I'll tell you what I know if I can help, but I don't need to know all that. Anyway, I don't know. I got no wisdom, dude. I got experience.
Yeah, that's true. I think that kind of is what wisdom is just experience.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But my wisdom and experience might be different from yours. It is.
And
I appreciate yours. Again,
uh-huh.
You've taught me a lot in the last couple of years.
That's good. That's all I've been trying to do is teach Cleveland.
I love it, man. Who's your teacher, Taylor?
He's 27.
He's 27. He's a teacher.
He's relapsed a bunch of times. That's like you.
Hey, man, look at you now.
We're doing good now. It's all good. Well, that's it.
Cool.
That's the podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fun. I appreciate it.
It's I get to be here, and thank you for letting me, man.
Absolutely.
All
so maybe everyone, thank you so much. Give it up for Cleveland. Drew will be back once he finishes moving. So
thank God, because they're sick of your guests, like people like me.
People are texting Drew's girlfriend, "Where's the podcast?" Here it is, guys. Okay.
But then they're gonna be like, well, "Wait, that's not Drew."
That's not Drew.
Click.
No, this will be a good. We've been reading out of the book. This will be a good, like, whatever, and maybe there'll be like more of that. So we'll figure it out.
I like just talking.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, goodbye. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Taylor. I'm an alcoholic. This is Cleveland.
Alcoholic. Awesome. Drug addict.